evening. I am Diane Hart, the host for tonight's show of Where Are They Now on Detroit Hot TV. I have a phenomenal man in this studio with me tonight. When you talk about a genius, we are talking about a true genius. And that gentleman is Mr. Demetrious Nabors. He has influenced the entire gospel, jazz, classical, and blues. He is a two-time Detroit Music Award winner, armed with a bachelor's and a master's degree in jazz studies from the University of Michigan. Good evening, Demetrious. How are you?
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
I was just blown away reading your bio. I'm like, wow, am I equipped to do this tonight? So let's just get started. Tell me a little bit about where you grew up.
Detroit, Michigan. I grew up in the area of Linwood, Rosa Parks in that area. I played at a church that's right across the street from Aretha Franklin, New Bethel. I am homegrown all day long. Yeah.
So how young were you or how old were you when you got into playing your instruments? What all do you play?
It's funny because I started learning piano. Piano was the last instrument I learned at the age of 14. Before then, I played a little bit of violin, clarinet, trumpet, baritone, drums, before I touched the piano. Once I touched the piano, that was it. It did it for me, and I never went back to anything else. I think learning those instruments helped me to learn how to breathe when I'm playing the piano, because those instruments are wind instruments. You have to breathe and, with your phrasing and all that. So I believe that transferred to my piano playing, the way I play.
Did you take music in school? What school did you attend?
I was always in a band in, grade school and middle school. I didn't start taking formal lessons until I learned the piano. The lady at church, God rest her soul, her name is Barbara Denard. She taught four of us, because I learned how to play by ear, even though I read a little bit, but with her, it was by ear. So I learned the scales and all that. And then I think in my junior year in high school, I took formal lessons, jazz lessons with Charles Bowles, which he's still here living. He's a bad piano player from Detroit.
So you started really early.
Diane is late. Yeah.
14 was early.
14 was late back then because people started when they were 2, 3, 5, 6. And I started at, when I was 14 playing the piano. So
yeah, but you'd already played many instruments before the piano.
It was just a hobby. You're a kid. You just excited about playing anything. It don't even matter.
Say any instrument will do.
Any instrument would do at that time, yes.
So who do you think really influenced you the most?
God rest his soul. My uncle-in-law, his name was Larry Nix. He was a gospel musician. And when I heard him play the organ, that influenced me to play the piano and play the organ.
You were blown away with how it sounded, huh?
And I was blown away by the way he played.
How many songs have you written? Do you write all of your own music?
I do. I write all my music. I've been blessed that I do a lot of composing, a lot of arranging. God has given me that gift. Some people in our family have talent, but no one ever pursued it professionally. For me, I'm really the one that stood out and pursued it. My goal was not to become a professional musician. I was just using it as a hobby, as a way, when you're in high school, you work your summer job. Instead of working summer jobs, I used to play at the church and, get paid for it. That's all I was doing. It wasn't my goal. My goal was to become a CPA because that's what I've always loved, and try to play basketball.
So did you take any math courses in college or any accounting classes at all in college?
So that's another story that you don't see on my website. But if you Google my name, you'll see that I've been blessed. So again, accounting was my passion, and it still is. It's kind of weird, right?
No, you need that.
Absolutely. They can't get over with me with contracts and all that.
I know that's right.
When I graduated from high school, my major was still accounting when I went to college. I went through a couple of years taking accounting classes and all of that. I continued to practice. By that time, I guess I was good enough to play with a lot of different people and produce. I was like, why don't I switch my major to accounting? Because I'm traveling, I'm doing a lot of things, and then I don't want to have that glass ceiling.
Right.
So to be able to read and play by ear allow me to go in all areas. And that's what I did. I switched my major. I was in and out of school from traveling and still doing odd jobs in accounting to stay in the workforce, keep my ear to the ground. But I ended up going back to school to finish up my music degree. So I went back to University of Michigan, go blue, baby, and pursued my bachelor's, and then went right into my master's for music. And then a few years after that, I went back to school, took a couple of classes, and went right into my master's for accounting. So I have a master's in accounting as well.
Well-rounded, educated man, blowing the keys off the organ. I don't know if I could have continued to go into school and doing all of that at the same time, because I know that you had to really be busy. For what other people have you written music for?
That's a task, because even my website does not represent the blessings God has bestowed upon me to play for so many people and work with. But just to name a few, I've composed songs and produced with Kim, the R&B singer. We have Larry Whitfield. We have jazz saxophonist Randy Scott, Tim Bowman, many, many more.
I'm sure.
Yes, I've played with a significant amount. I've worked with Dorinda Clark Cole, Vanessa Bear Armstrong, Dottie McClurkin, Althea Renee, Lynn Roundtree, wrote songs with jazz floaters.
They tell me, though, that you've been all around the world.
I've been somewhere.
They tell me you've been all around the world, Africa and lots of other places.
Yes, between gospel, R&B, and jazz. So I've been to Cape Town, London, Amsterdam, Johannesburg, Kirk Carr, all around in the U.S. I hate that I did not really take time to write everything down that I've been able to do.
Well, you're going to have to sit down and pen that to paper, because there's a book coming sometime in the near future.
That's the second time you just said book twice already. I've heard that countless of times, and I've just never thought about a book, but it's interesting. That might not be a bad idea. Just a nice book.
Something about your life and the blessings that you've received along the way to encourage some other folk.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you this. When you're traveling, you have family, you have children and a wife and all that?
So I am married with 3 grown children now, but back then, they were small. So by me, still in school and traveling, trying to be the husband and the dad, it was challenging. But while being in school, I didn't have to work as much, like a corporate job. I was doing music full time while I was going to school. It worked out because, my wife would go work during the day. I'm at home with the kids and taking them, dropping them off. So it worked out where they saw me during the day, but at night I was busy with music and, all that. So
that's all right, but you made it through. And the best part is the children were able to spend some quality time with their father. So I get that, but you were blessed to be able to work, at night, and your wife go to work during the daytime, so you both could spend some quality time with your children. I'm going to play your song, and it's Bounce With It. Yeah, let me ask you this. What was the reason why you wrote that piece? What influenced that song, Bounce With It?
With contemporary jazz, my goal was to keep it up and, have a groove. So when you're getting up in the morning or you just riding, you could just bounce. That was it. That was the vibe, and that was the inspiration behind it, just to have a groove that feels real good and you can sing it, easy melody, and just groove.
How does it come to you? In a dream, you wake up in the middle of the night, you got a pencil and a piece of paper by your bedside.
So you did ask this question, right? So everyone is not TMI, but she did ask. So sometimes they come to me when I'm running, because I'm a runner as well, because I run marathons, half marathons, and all that good stuff. A lot of times that's my sanctuary. So if I'm running while I'm talking to God, sometimes a melody will hit and I have to stop running, take my phone on the voice memo and sing whatever I'm hearing. However, she did ask, okay? So don't get mad at me. Most of the time, which is so weird. It's really weird. For the last few albums, majority of my compositions or the ideas have come to me when I'm in the shower. It's been so bad. Like when I take a shower, I actually have my phone, the window is by the shower where I get in it. So I lay my phone on the edge of it, because usually when I'm in the shower, for whatever reason, melodies hit and I have to open the shower door, grab my phone and sing the melody in.
I know that's right.
It's the weirdest thing. I said, you don't want to wait till I get out the shower?
No, I don't want to wait till you get out. I need you to record this right now while it's fresh in your mind. Yes. But we're going to listen to, I have already heard it. It is a jam. And then we'll be right back. Bounce to this. are back. Listen, you all, I don't know if there's a better man than Mr. Demetrious Crayon Nabors. Listen, gospel, jazz, blues. You're just well-rounded in all of the genres. I mean, what does that feel like to just be able to play whatever you want, when you want?
It's challenging at times.
Didn't quite expect that one, right?
Right. It feels good to be versatile because, again, to go back to, to reinstate what I was talking about earlier, I never wanted that glass ceiling. So it feels good, but yet I feel like it's so much music in my head and so much creativity. Sometimes it's difficult to okay, you need to play like this when it comes to different genres, but I love the challenge. So it makes me respect the music no matter what genre it is.
Well, I can't play anything. I wish I could. I always wanted to sing, and I can't. So could you help me?
No problem. No problem.
Well, I understand that you have played everywhere. I'm like, who is this gentleman? They were like, you need to meet him because he is one of the baddest pianists you ever want to meet. They say wonderful things about you and your ability to play.
You sure they're talking about me?
They're absolutely talking. You must meet him. He is one of the baddest piano players you will ever meet. Organs, pianos. The crazy part is you're telling me you play some other instruments. Have you played some other instruments on some of your other music?
Unfortunately, once I touched the piano, I never went back to any other instrument. I have not. Sometimes I wish I did. One of my goals still is to learn how to play guitar. 'Cause I love acoustic guitar. The sound, just the color of it is amazing to me. That is on my list to do.
What else is on the musical things that you'd like to accomplish before you leave here? You got a long time.
Yeah. Thank you. One of my goals is to go to Cuba, the Dominican Republic, and study their music culture for a couple of weeks. Just stay there and just go to all the events as much as I can just to study because I love their music and I love their training. Their training is amazing. So I would like to do that.
I have one of my dear friends who is from Cuba, and I know she would love to hear that. I'll make sure that she knows that you like to visit Cuba. I know that you can do it. You can do whatever you like. Yes. You will accomplish that.
Absolutely.
We're going to take a moment and then we're going to listen to another song, Funny How Time Flies. And what I'd like to know is, where'd that song come from?
That is Janet Jackson. And I did a cover of her song because growing up, that used to be one of my favorite songs by her. I always do an R&B cover, and that's one of the songs that I just love the melody. I love the harmonic structure and the vibe. That was my inspiration behind that.
Well, we're going to listen to that song right now, and then we'll be back, and we're going to ask you a couple of more questions. I know you're a busy man. Funny how time flies. We'll be right back.
Funny how time flies.
Okay. Listen, it is a bad jam too. I think that everything you have played is a bad jam. I listened to so much of your music. I was like, wow. If you had words to tell some of these young folk in this industry, what would be some advice you'd give some of them?
So the industry is very challenging. However, they have more opportunities than ever. And what I like about what I'm seeing with the younger generation, they are really trying to maximize on it. My advice to them is just go about it whatever you want to do. And discernment is the key. And why I said that, because you can have mentors that you talk to, and because something didn't work out for them, they will try to impart it into you.
Right.
Sometimes that is dangerous because their journey does not indicate your journey. So you have to discern what someone is speaking to you. And just if you believe whatever you love to do, just do it. Believe in it, put the time in, and it will pay dividends.
I believe that.
You reap what you sow.
Absolutely. I believe that. When you talk about put time in, how much time do you think you spent learning your craft? Was it every day that you practiced? How did you do it?
Let's go back to the beginning that we talked about earlier. So what I used to do when I learned how to play the piano, piano and organ, I was around 14, right? However, even when I went to school during the week, I would come home and practice after my homework, staying up late. Because, back then it was tape recorders, right? So we had to rewind, fast forward, and they would be late at night when I was supposed to be asleep. And I would do that on the weekends, like on Saturday. I would lunch at home, like my favorite peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I love those. Yes. Make a lunch, and I would go down to the church and I would practice from 12 to 8 p.m. like a job, from 12 to 8. And I used to do that a lot as I was learning how to play.
Wow. That was a real job.
Yes.
So you were very, very serious. You wanted to be the best pianist in the whole world.
My mother always taught me, whatever you're going to do, just, make sure you put time in to do it. So I used to practice a lot, even with being in school. And I miss those hours. I do. Now with 2 careers, I put my time in. I try to find some time to practice.
How much time do you think you practice now?
Probably 45 minutes to an hour and a half, maybe. And then on days when I don't have anything to do, which is very rare, I find 2 hours or something like that. But I try to at least keep the foundation. Foundation is key, with exercises and all that for playing piano. I would say 30 minutes to 90 minutes because I always have to learn a lot of music. I have to compose. I still produce. I'm writing for other artists. So, it's a lot that goes into those tasks.
So are you touring right now?
I'm not touring right now. I have spot dates between my own shows as an artist and being a musical director for different artists that I play with. And I still have my corporate job. So I work.
You said I still got a real paycheck just in case my fingers won't work.
Yes.
Do you think you'll tour anymore in the future? Or you just say you're just going to play it by ear and see what happens?
Play it by ear and see what happens. Because, with tour dates, just like we had the Victory, the Hallelujah tour, something like that, with Kirk Franklin, and then the Hallelujah tour, something with Fred Hammond. Those tours are a couple of months. And, after that, you're home. So it's great when a tour is going on because you have 30, 40 dates, which, is a span of, a month to 3 months. But after that, what do you do?
So you don't have one of those jobs that you can call in and say, I'm going to go on tour for 3 months and I'll be back.
Yeah, it's called updating my resume and submitting for another job.
And looking for a new job.
One thing about it, with me having a master's in accounting, being blessed, the type of jobs I have are virtual and they support what I do musically. So it allows me to go out of town, travel, because I can work from anywhere virtually. That has been, a blessing at the same time.
That's a real blessing to be able to work wherever you are.
Yes.
And wherever you are. So that is a blessing.
Yeah, sometimes it's interesting because I've been going to Jamaica for the last 3 years. And so when I'm there, like everybody like, where you at? I'm working while everybody else doing whatever. Then at nighttime we have to perform, and then daytime I'm back at it working. But it's fine with me. I don't mind because again, I love accounting. That was the goal.
Right.
Accounting was the goal, not music. So
that's right. He said he want to count that money while he plays music. You heard it. Absolutely nothing wrong with having 2 careers. Lucrative careers that both pay off. That's important. We have to have those jobs of some kind, whether it's our own, but it sounds almost like you're your own company because you be be able to do it virtually. But that's great. I want to thank you for allowing me to have this interview with you. It has just been phenomenal, eye-opening. I look forward to seeing you playing live somewhere one of these days. I can see you out on YouTube. Tell people a little bit about where they can find you. I can find you everywhere. You tell them where they can find you.
So listen, everyone, you can find me at www.dknmusic, which is Demetrious Crayon Neighbors Music. So it's dknmusic.com or www.demetriousneighbors.com. All social media, Demetrious Neighbors Music. I have some performances coming up this weekend. I'm at the Blue Llama Jazz Club for my own show. Then in a couple of weeks, I have a show in Dearborn with a few people. So yes, go to my website for the itinerary.
So you're living in Detroit?
I live in Metro Detroit.
Okay. Is Metro Detroit a long ways from downtown Detroit?
No, it's just 35 minutes from downtown.
I'll be in Detroit. I'm looking forward to meeting you in person.
Well, there it is. So listen, for you, I have a show May 4th, and we can talk about that in Dearborn. I would love for you to come, and everyone else, please come out and support. Again, go to my website, the itinerary page, where you can see my list of shows. D, you have to come. I'm
going to catch you when I'm in Detroit. I will be there in March, and I will most certainly do that. So I want to thank you again for joining me today on Detroit Hot TV. Where are they now? Now you all know where he is. You have no excuse for not finding you, right? So please join us every Thursday night and all during the week. Listen to Detroit Hot Radio. I thank you so much, Demetrious, for joining me tonight on Detroit Hot TV. I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.